people with disabilities without letting them be a part of the process. And we wanted to change that. So like I said, lots of time ramping up here to do our stakeholder outreach. And in California, it's a longer process here because, with state procurement laws, we have to go through with RFP processes, we have to write state regulations. So we have a kind of a bigger task here than some of the other states do. But other states, I do always mention that other states do have programs opening or operating right now. You don't, in most cases, have to be a resident of those states. So if people are eager to start putting away money now, they are able to do that by enrolling in another state's program. If you do decide to do that, you do have the ability to move your account back to California. Once we do open, we're looking at around a fall time launch. That's our anticipated start date anyway. And if you move your account back to California, we hope that people will. We do expect to have some of the lowest fees associated with this. These are pretty low fee programs, but they do run on participant fees. We're not going to get any kind of general fund appropriations for this program. So, but because of our, California, because of our scale and size, we do expect to have some of the lowest fees in the country. With these accounts, you get to save up to $14,000 per year. And then up to, here in California, it's different for every other state, but here in California, folks will actually be able to save up to, I think it's $475,000 total, without any impact to Medi-Cal, collecting Medi-Cal, any other public benefit programs except SSI. So the exception here is Social Security benefits. Once you hit the $100,000 level, that's the cap for SSI. So folks who reach $100,000 will have to, their SSI will essentially be suspended, or they'll have to lower that amount so that they can resume receiving contributions and stay on their benefit programs. The criteria for these accounts is that you have to have the onset of your disability prior to the age of 26, and this hasn't been a very popular piece.
Yeah, probably isn't.
This was, the result of trying to compromise at the federal level to get this passed. It does exclude a lot of people who become disabled, post age 26. There is some federal legislation pending right now that would expand that age cap to 46. So we're looking to see what happens with that. Of course, federal legislation, everything is kind of up in the air right now, but that is one of the initiatives. And I will say, this legislation did have a lot of bipartisan support, which is a good thing. So
yeah,
we don't
Mom rules. She'll save the world.
Hopefully any effect to our program. That's my son over there. He's my able ambassador for the day. Home from school. Thanks, Riley.
Yeah, I know.
What else do I want to say? So yeah, you have to have your onset of disability prior to age 26. You're going to certify. You also have to have qualify for either Social Security benefits, so SSI, SSDI, that makes you eligible for the program, or you can also just self-certify. So that's essentially a doctor's note that says so-and-so person received or had the onset of their disability prior to the age of 26, and that's gonna do it. Programs aren't gonna be collecting doctor's notes. It's just gonna be something that you're gonna sort of self-certify on the honor system. IRS and the SSI do have the ability to audit these accounts in that way if they want to, but we're not going to be collecting any sort of documentation around that. More than likely it will be an online enrollment process where you say I qualify and you start saving. It should be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So in terms of using the ABLE account monies, they do have to be spent on what we call qualified disability expenses. And so, but thankfully the category for that is pretty long. A wide range of things. So housing, education. These were modeled after college savings plans. So with college savings, you're obviously saving for college expenses. In this case, you are saving for expenses that improve your life experience. This is called the Achieving a Better Life Experience Act. So the idea here was that if it's improving your quality of life, health, independence, then that expenditure should count.
That's what everyone wants.
Right. Let's see. Yeah, so the categories are deliberately broad. They're also investment vehicles too. So people will, we expect that these accounts will be used in different ways. Some people will use these more for short-term expenses, basic living expenses, so they may use them more like a checking account. Other people will be using these for longer-term savings, and so they'll have some options, they'll get to pick different levels of investment strategies, depending on their level of risk. For instance, people are gonna be spending their money on a more, usual basis, sort of like a checking account. They'll more than likely have an FDIC option. And then we're still working through all the different investment options, but typically there will be an FDIC option. So your money, you're not gonna grow a lot of assets, but your money will be there, it will be secure. And what else did I wanna say about that? So yeah, we right now, we're really excited about this program. We really see this as a first good step toward helping people with disabilities have some semblance of financial empowerment, financial security. Our constituents are really excited about it. People are really anxious to see the program launch here in California. We're really asking, because we're such a small staff of just 3 people, we're doing our best to get the word out. Anybody that can help us get the word out. We've been meeting with different state agencies that administer public benefit programs. That's a big piece because we have to educate all of those agencies about the fact that, whether it's Medi-Cal, CalWORKS, CalFresh, you name it, these people will still be eligible for those programs even though they have the account. So there's an education effort going on there. We're also meeting with advocacy groups, service provider groups. We have a couple of pieces of legislation out right now that we're looking for some support from advocacy groups and potential participants. So if you're eager to learn more, I left some fact sheets at the back table. I have my business card back there as well. We are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are, we have a website, we have a listserv, so you can sign up there to get updates on more information. But anything you can do to help us spread the word would be really appreciated. We also realize with these accounts, in some of our stakeholder meetings, there is a component of concern around, this population being vulnerable, the risk for fraud and abuse. So we are partnering also with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
Write this down.
We've had a couple of meetings with them. They are developing about their toolkit that they're coming out with. Able accounts will be a part of that toolkit, so we'll be collaborating with them on that. And ultimately, we'll have a program manager that will administer this program, and we have an RFP actually out for that to contract with a program manager right now, and we will insist that they have also some fraud protections built into that, also some financial literacy components too, because we are hearing from the population, this is really kind of the first time they've been able to save, invest for their future, and so that piece is going to be really important as well. And I think that's all I wanted to say. So I'll be around if you have any questions for me. Riley and I will be back there. Let me know.
Hooray! I knew you could do it! Self-confidence! Mom is the best. Okay. Ruined it.
I was telling Carrie that every now and then I have to bring my children to my events as well. And then the next event, they won't be with me and everybody will say, where's your son?